Hi, my name is Joe Codsi. Let me introduce myself. I was born in Damascus, Syria, grew up in Beirut, Lebanon, spent 18 years in the Jesuit order, which took me, about 8 years in Europe, mainly France, and 1 year in the States, and the rest of the time in the Middle East, between Lebanon and Syria. I'm now retired and I live in Seattle. Now about my website. It is called Rethinking America. This is a very wide subject. My main point is that America has become ungovernable. And the COVID-19 epidemic has shown that it is becoming very difficult to govern because the people won't listen. Some agree with you and some don't, and those who don't agree don't want to follow your directives and stuff like that. We have become extremely individualistic. We do what we like, and those we don't like or we don't agree with, we treat them as zombies or one form of out of this world aliens. So this is extremely bad for keeping a country united and well organized. So, in order to take care of this new situation that was mostly started with the presidency of Mr. Trump, but is going to continue because whether he is a president or not, the same difficulty exists for governing. We have a Biden administration. It will govern according to their plans, and they will not be listened to or accepted by those who disagree with them. So my solution is that we need more variety in the way we govern ourselves. That is to say, we cannot just have one constitution. The constitution has to become more flexible and more adjustable according to the wishes of the majorities in a state or a city or a town. Democracy begins at the lowest level of government. That is to say, local towns and cities. That's why I have proposed for Seattle, for instance, the city where I live, to create in Seattle some autonomy that is similar to the autonomy that Hong Kong used to enjoy in China. I say used to because China is reneging on their commitments. They want to control Hong Kong as much as they can, politically speaking. Now, is the American system less totalitarian than the Chinese system? This is my question. And one way of putting this to the test is to see if we can have a Seattle that is like Hong Kong in relation to America. Seattle, the Hong Kong of America. Now, you can do the same thing with any other city, with your town, and stuff like that. You know, this is just an idea that is becoming ripe today. Let the local people decide how much freedom they want to take for themselves in the way they govern themselves locally. We don't mean that a city of Seattle would give orders to other cities or to other towns. We govern ourselves as best we can, and if we make mistakes and if we displease people, well, it will be easier to correct and easier to discuss those things before they are adopted. See, if democracy is government with the will of the people, so the people has to agree. And one way of finding out if the people is okay with a new proposal is to start a referendum. The next elections, we put a few referendums on the ballots with some suggestions and see if the people, let's discuss those ideas and decide collectively what if the time is ripe for us to do so or not. This is democracy. Giving orders coming from Washington, D.C., this is old-fashioned and outdated. This is a centralized authoritarian system. We want to decentralize because by decentralization, we will be able to give more choices, more variety in the way we govern ourselves locally. Let everyone mind their own business. And the union has to take another form. It cannot be a rigid, centralized, totalitarian union as it has been, as it has become. We have given too much powers to our presidents, for instance. This is crazy. Our presidents are like imperial powers. They do whatever they want, and we can do nothing. This is, what should I say, too much for today's ideas, because today, with instant information, we the people know what's going on as well as our presidents and our representatives. So they don't have anything that we don't have, or they don't know anything that we don't know. And their decisions can be criticized. No matter what decision they take, some of us will find it critical. It's not acceptable to them. So instead of forcing us all to wear the same straitjacket, one size fits all, and that's it. This is Chinese government, totalitarian government. It is not democracy. So if you agree with this basic idea that diversity in the way we govern ourselves equals more freedom and more democracy, welcome to my website, and let's work together to start change locally, because we cannot change what's going on in Washington, D.C., but we can start changing things locally in our towns and in our cities. Let's concentrate on greater democratization of the way we govern ourselves. And this means greater financial independence. For instance, another idea, I give you just wild ideas, just to start thinking differently. I would say, for instance, a good idea is to have 50% of the income tax that is collected by the federal government go back automatically to the states. So the states are self-funded. They are no longer dependent on Washington for all their funds. This independence is essential for democracy. So we want independence politically and financially. If you are politically independent and financially poor and have nothing, no resources, well, you will be just dreaming. So we need a dual form of autonomy, political and financial. And this is my main idea. So I'll stop here and let you think about that. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye.